Hi there, welcome back. Now, still to come, from behind the bar in Corrie to behind bars of a very different kind. We'll be finding out why actress Michelle Collins is exploring her criminal past. Before that, though, I'm back with a red carpet look. And at 9:15, former Corrie star Michelle Collins will be here to explain why she's uncovering a crime close to home. First, though, let's of the trade. And from Corrie to the clink, actress Michelle Collins has been exploring the truth behind her criminal past. Hi there, welcome back. Still to come, she's turned criminal investigator for her latest show. Actress Michelle Collins joins me in 5 minutes. First, though, so clever. She really does look a bit like Cheryl there, amazing. Now, my next guest has faced her fair share of drama during her time in Soapland, but did it prepare her for the real-life drama of discovering her ancestors' criminal past? Well, in a new series tonight, Secrets from the Clink, Michelle Collins finds out that debt is a crime that truly does not pay.
Even as late as 1848, when Michelle's ancestor Thomas Bright was thrown into Whitecross Street prison by his creditors, the extortion of money or garnish was still rife.
Garnish was a payment on Whitecross Street. It would have been about £1, which is another £1 that poor Thomas has to pay.
How would he have some money to...
Well, he'd need to have it, because if you didn't pay, they taunted you and bullied you until you paid.
So you're getting yourself in more debt, even in debtor's prison?
Yeah.
Oh, it's shocking, isn't it? Michelle joins us now. I mean, you could tell that you were shocked by it all. And we've, of course, ironically, Cindy Beale disappeared off the screens at EastEnders by being in prison.
Runs in the family.
And there you are, it runs in the family.
Cindy's wasn't really for debt, though.
No.
Cindy's was slightly
more serious crime. So, look,
yeah.
I mean, how did you get involved in this? Were you interested already in your
well,
past?
you don't really know. When they sort of got in touch and said, and they were doing something on debtor's prison transportation, because a lot of people that were in debt were then transported, and there are a few other people in the programme, and one of them is about transportation. So you meet and you chat with them and you tell them about your family, then they go off and they investigate, and then you don't hear anything for quite a long time. So then they come back and say, well, we've got something, would you be available for a couple of days? So you don't really know what's going to happen.
So you could have found out he did something truly ghastly.
Yeah, I know.
And what relation is Thomas to you?
He's my 3 times removed grandfather. So he's my great-great-great-grandfather.
So a proper direct line.
Yes, yeah. So this was in... because half of our... one line goes to Wales, so I've done the Welsh one, and this is the London side. So I knew that my great-grandmother came from Holborn. Her parents had a shop in Holborn. Yeah. So he's her... grandfather. So what happened was he had, in the story, I go back to where his first shop was, which was in Monmouth Street, which is around Seven Dials, which is very upmarket now, very zhuzhy. But in the 1840s, it wasn't. The 1840s in London, basically, was an area called Seven Dials, but it really was a den of iniquity. It wasn't a nice area to be in. And Thomas Bright, who was my great-great-great-grandfather, had an umbrella shop. He made umbrellas. He also made horsewhips, and his wife was a dressmaker. And they lived above the shop, and they also had B&B. And they obviously worked very, very hard. But for some reason, he got himself into debt. Into serious debt.
And they didn't handle debt well then, did they? Well, you think people struggle with debt now, but it was a crime.
Unless you were wealthy. Yes, he hadn't committed a crime or anything, but we didn't actually find out what had happened. I'm sure, in those days, he was probably owed a lot of money. That's sort of how it happened. And, it was the hungry 1840s. England was in a terrible, terrible state. There was poverty, everywhere. And so basically, without trial, without anything, he was put into debtor's prison. And a lot of people were in debtors. Probably 30,000 people in Victorian times were put in prison. Charles Dickens himself, his father was put in prison for debt. And in fact, Dickens himself was children and women were in debtors' prisons as well.
Amazing. And it was struggled out of it. But you know that your uncle did, didn't you? Because you found records that later he got back on his feet.
Yeah, it was really moving, actually. It was an amazing story. He disappeared. He was in prison. For about 6 to 8 months to a year. Then about 13 years later, we found on a register that he'd been able to come out and he'd sourced himself out and obviously hence you know, my great-grandmother.
And other people like Len Goodman and Johnny Vegas have taken part in this, so we can see their stories too. But is family important to you? Because we last saw you on screen, didn't we, in Corrie in April? And I know that you've been really wanting to be there for your daughter. Is that family importance really important for you?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's important for everybody, isn't it? You know, our roots. More and more people seem to want to know where they come from. I think everyone wants a feeling of belonging, and it seems to be very popular now, people investigating and going through the genealogy, going through their families. Yeah, I think it's very important. I think with what's happening in the world today, everywhere, you know, I think it's really important that we really cling on to our family and we all help each other. And I was away for quite a long time, coming back and forward, and obviously in my business I'm used to travelling a lot, but it is very important to me. Yeah, I have a very close-knit family, yes.
So we can see that 9 p.m. tonight.
Yes.
Secrets from the Clink. But when are we going to see you back on the telly doing other things?
I did 3 eps of Casualty. One to come out. I've got 2 more. I think it's on this Saturday and the Saturday after. 2 of those. And, then I've been doing some theatre, you see. So,
treading the boards.
Treading the boards, which is why I've got no voice left. Treading the boards, which is something I really wanted to do. So
it's great to have the time.
I've got something coming. I can't really say, but yeah. So you will be seeing me sort of fairly soon. But it's nice to do... it's nice to do different things.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Well, look, lovely to chat to you. It'll be a fascinating watch. Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thanks. Now, before is here with some fish and chips for us, which is healthy and tasty, you're saying?
Healthy and tasty. Now, this does look good, doesn't it? Okay,
it looks yummy.
A lot of batter.
I
Michelle,
love
what
those
do you
mushrooms.
think?
I'm not sure about this time in the morning, but it does look...
Go on, tuck in. Are you good? Are you a healthy eater, Michelle? Do you look after yourself a bit? You look like
I am a bit of a... No, I am a healthy eater. I love mushy peas.
Do you? Let's have a look. What do you think of what Jerry Hall said, then?
I think she's right. Isn't it about being happy, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, you could be miserable and dieting all day and not doing anything. And
and then you wouldn't have a smile on your face, would you? Which is half the thing of looking good. That is yummy, Sally. You've convinced me.
Good,
I love it. I'm going to make that. And for Sally's recipe today, you can go onto our website, itv.com/Lorraine. And that's all we got time for today. Tomorrow we've got the secrets to having superstar hair like Jennifer Lopez. Sounds great. Have a nice day. I'm going to have a bit more. Yum.